What's up, y'all? We back. It's Wholesale
Yo,
Hardknocks,
yo.
episode 11, bro. Is it 11 or 10? I think it's 11.
I think it's 11 too.
Episode 11, bro. We've been here for 11 straight weeks now, bringing y'all wholesale game, bringing y'all mindset game, we've been bringing relationship game too. Like, we've been bringing everything
Everything, bro.
Every single Saturday. So make sure when y'all jump on here, y'all subscribe to both of our channels. They're listed in the bio below. Make sure y'all smash the like button and make sure y'all tune in every single Saturday at 10 a.m. for Wholesale Hard Knocks. Yo, Mike, what we talking about today, bro?
So today is different. We haven't done this yet, bro. We haven't done an episode where it's just us. So today we're gonna go just over some topics,
Yeah.
right? And me and Daryl are just gonna shoot the shit. Me and Daryl had a conversation last night over FaceTime, probably like an hour and a half long. Literally, if somebody listened to that conversation, they would have got millions of dollars worth of
We
value.
probably should have just saved the whole thing for today, honestly.
Literally, I was thinking that this morning.
Yeah, bro.
So,
But yo, we're facing, well, a lot of people are scared. A lot of people think, we're about to hit another recession. The market's about to crash. It's about to be another 2008 again. What are your thoughts about this, bro?
So, I do think that. Now, I wasn't in the game.
Right.
Since I've been in the game or even knew about the game, it's been going like this. And
Yeah.
maybe I should say this.
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of looks weird with the screen, but it's been going up, right? Everything has been appreciating. It's been a crazy market. Crazy hot market since I've ever even knew about this wholesale thing. So I don't know. I haven't been through any of those things before. I haven't been through a crash. However, I surround myself with people that have. And I listen to all my mentors that have been through this and that have been in the game. And those mentors know people that have been in other crashes. One really, really big thing that stuck out to me, I think it was last week. Yeah, last week I was on a coaching call and Cody Sperber was talking. And Cody Sperber was like, yo, literally 4 hedge funds pulled out on our deals today. And one day he had 4 hedge funds back out on deals that were in escrow. And when they do that, they're walking away from their earnest money. I mean, at the end of the day, they're hedge funds. They got a bunch of money. They don't really care about $5,000-10,000, whatever the earnest money was. But still, that tells you something. Like, hey, I'd rather not do that deal than do the deal.
Yeah.
Rather lose the earnest money. And here's why. Here's why they're doing that. What these hedge funds do is they put their money in the stock market. And then they use their stock market portfolio in order to leverage that portfolio to borrow more money at a cheap rate to go buy houses. And what happened is the stock market kind of tanked.
Yeah.
So they just paused buying. So
I didn't know that.
a lot of the stuff is just being affected. But at the end of the day, what we've been seeing on our side as wholesalers, especially in my business and with my dispo team, is we've been seeing it just in the past couple of weeks. It's been harder to sell deals.
Yeah.
Like my dispo team had, I think, 2 or 3 contracts in the past 2 weeks that they couldn't find a buyer for. And that's not like them. They haven't had that. They're like 100% ratio of hitting deals and selling deals. So,
and I think it's interesting, bro. It's definitely interesting because majority of people who are in real estate today, wholesaling, I'm gonna say today, have not been through a crash. So I think this is gonna weed out a lot of pretenders because it has been really easy. It's been really easy past couple years to wholesale.
100%. Yep. If
So-
people are gonna be caught with their pants down, 100%.
Yeah, and if you're not ready and if you don't got a game plan and if you don't know other strategies, well, wholesaling is always going to work, right? The thing with wholesaling, you just need to get prices. You just need to buy deeper, right? You need to get
right. And so exactly, you're going to have to know sales and you're going to have a good dispositions team selling your deals.
Yeah.
So you're actually going to have to like start incentivizing buyers for some sort of reason. Like, hey, us on the wholesale side will cover your closing costs or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Make it creative.
incentive, right?
Yeah.
And
And
this is also important to have a good relationship with these buyers.
very true. Honestly, though, I don't think it's going to be as bad as the last crash. I really
No,
don't. And
yeah,
like just doing like some research and stuff like that, like as obviously, like you said, we haven't been there, right? Um, there are there were way we still have I think like there's still a housing shortage,
in some
right?
markets, yeah,
In some markets, like back in 2007, 2008. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. There was like a way too many houses, like too
no,
many
exactly.
houses. The interest rates were crazy. There were so many adjustable rate mortgages back then. It was like 10 million adjustable rate mortgages, something like that, right? And a lot of people were getting caught up in those, bro. Especially if you're living in property and you don't have a plan for that adjustable rate,
Yeah,
that can crush you. So
yeah, you're
adjustable rate mortgage, if y'all don't know what adjustable rate mortgage is you have a set interest rate on your mortgage for a certain amount of time, and then after, let's just say 5 years, that interest rate is going to go up. It has the opportunity to go up, right? And there's no telling when, how much is going to go up by. Like you have a cap, right? But there's no telling how high it's going to go at what point. So that's scary, especially if you're living in the property and you don't have a exit strategy, right? If you're investing, like I'm closing on an arm in a couple weeks, and I have a plan to sell it at 5 years. Right, I'm just gonna sell it as soon as my prepayment penalty is up. I'm just gonna sell the property or refinance. So like you need to have a strategy if you're gonna do something like that. But I don't I don't think it's gonna be as bad, especially not right now. Right. Like I think me personally, I definitely see like houses selling for less, they're staying on the market for a lot longer. Um Pace I put that message out saying like slow down on your flips, right? So I don't think flipping is dead right now, right? I think wholesaling and flipping will still be good. You just need to be very strategic about it.
you have to
Um,
know what is a freaking deal.
exactly,
That's it.
exactly,
And this is
exactly.
what you said. People might get caught with their pants down because they don't know what is a deal. So people
Yeah.
have just been calling sellers and they're like, all right, this number. Cool. Send it out to the dispo team. Or let's
Send it
just,
out to a hedge fund or
yeah,
iBuyer.
let me send it to a hedge fund who's going to buy it at freaking 100%. Yo, that doesn't happen. Like when I
Yeah,
learned this business, I had no idea about hedge funds.
yeah,
It was like the old school buy 75% minus repairs of ARV. Like that's why, like the fix and flipper that I learned from in the beginning, that's what he taught me, right? So those are the numbers that if you're hitting, think about it like this: most fix and flippers who are going out and getting hard money, they're going to need the deepest discount,
yeah.
right? So if you're going off of those numbers and you're able to lock deals off of those numbers, you're going to be able to sell it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because if you're just going like, hey, maybe a hedge fund might buy this thing, you're going to be screwed.
Right. And bro, honestly, right, like there's always a real estate has a cycle, right? There's four phases in real estate, right? And we're about to hit that recession stage. Like we're kind of like in the middle of that phase three, phase four. But this happens all the time, right? So like most investors, newer investors, they get scared of a recession, but seasoned investors, right? They understand that this is going to happen at some point, right? So you just need to be prepared and you just need to buy differently, right? So like wholesaling will always work no matter what phase you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Creative finance will always work no matter what phase you're in, right?
Yep.
So like people are like most buy and hold investors, they may be they may be screwed, bro. They may be screwed buying properties because the interest rates are going to be crazy soon. Like we got approved the one at 9%, right? Like that's insane. I know there's people getting lower ones, but that 9% is insane, bro. It will kill the cash flow on every deal,
Yo,
right?
probably couldn't do the Morby method deal up here in
Exactly.
Boston.
We underwrote a couple of them with that. So like it's bound to happen. But if you're buying creatively and you're just taking over these mortgages that we just seen over the past 2, 3 years, right, where it's 2%, 3% interest rates, who cares? Who
Take
cares
them
what the
over,
market rates
bro. Bro, what I've been doing like crazy, and literally, I'm supposed to lock up one last deal today. Actually, maybe even two. I almost did a deal a day this week, and
what I'm talking about.
one of the main things that I did this week was just hammering the market crashing in my sales.
I love
Like,
it.
yo, use it. There's such a good video that Pace had in the beginning of coronavirus. He actually put it on YouTube, and it was him in a buy appointment talking to the sellers about coronavirus and how it was going to mess up the whole market.
Oh yeah.
Yo, instill crazy doubt into your sellers.
Especially these tired landlords. I've been telling my team this, like, um, and Don Rich actually spoke about this in Morning Mindset Coffee the other day, where like we're painting the picture and planting the seeds of doubt to these tired landlords who've been building equity for 30, 40, 50 years, right? And maybe not 30, 40, 50 years, but a long time they've been building equity, right? And they need to make a decision. They're already halfway out the door, right? And they need to make a decision. Are you going to lose all your equity
So
and
so
keep
so,
the
so let's,
property?
let's let's do this really quick. So Daryl, you're a tired landlord, right?
Yeah,
And you've been in the game since like 1995.
yeah.
Hey, Daryl, I mean, what happened on the last time 2008 happened? What happened with you and your business? Just curious. I haven't been there yet. I'm a newbie, so I'd love to be taught the game.
Shit was scary, man. I lost all my equity. We lost all my equity, but I was able to cash flow, so I just kept these properties.
Holy crap! But you were okay.
Yeah, I was good. I was good just because I already had cash flowing rentals. So like they kept cash flowing.
So what if that happened again? Would you want to just take advantage of the market before that happens? Now that you're kind of on your way out.
100%. 100% because I don't see myself keeping these properties for another 10 years. I don't see myself being alive for another 10, 15, 20 years. You know?
I hear you. Well, Daryl, we literally just got a loan back, and it was at 9%, and it killed our deal. We had to back out on the deal, and these interest rates are just like absolutely crushing the market. I mean, I'm like I said, I wasn't here for 2008, but I hang out with all my mentors and everything that have, and they're like, "Yo, the crash is coming." So, don't you think it might be a good idea to sell these things ASAP?
Yeah, I think that is actually a great idea, man. What are you thinking?
See, like, bro, it's just instilling freaking doubt into the seller's mind. So they're like, holy crap, I do got to sell this thing.
Yeah, and it's helping them, like asking those questions, asking those types of questions is helping them come to the solution themselves, right? Like it makes them feel like they came to the solution themselves. When really we just led them that way, right? Like I know you follow Sandler, right? And that's pretty much what they talk about in the Sandler method, um, which is awesome, bro. And like we need to plant seeds of doubt because like, and it may seem like it's wrong, but it's we're not lying to them, right? Like we're helping.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't want anybody thinking right now
Yeah,
that it's like manipulation because it's not.
it's not.
It's, dude, I truly believe this shit. If
Yeah,
Daryl's a tired landlord and he's about to be out the game and the market tanks, why the heck wouldn't he sell this property right now?
yeah,
But you have to go about it in a way that he convinces himself. Because as we all know, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. So it's like we got to lead them down that path. Mm. But yeah, man, I'm actually super excited for it.
I am too, bro. I see myself and you leaving these next couple years acquiring a whole lot of properties, bro. A whole lot of properties. This is where massive portfolios are built.
Yeah.
Right? You never waste a good recession.
This is where
Millionaires are made in recessions, bro. Like
exactly. This is where Mike and Daryl look back in 4 years and we're on a boat and we're like, bro, 2022 was fire.
Facts. Let everybody else run away. Let everybody else be scared and not know what to do. I'm cool. I know exactly what I'm doing, bro. And I'm going to buy so many creative deals in these next couple years, bro. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be
So
insane.
talk about that. Talk about a little bit more why creative finance is the route to go.
Because I all I care about is cash flow, right? So if I can structure a deal to where I'm able to cash flow no matter what, no matter what's going on in the market, who cares what my equity's like? Because I didn't go get a loan to get to buy this house. I just took over somebody's loan or I just made them the bank. Right. So there's so many benefits to it, bro. And I'm giving the seller's getting what they want as well.
Mhm.
Right. Like there's no need for me to go get a new mortgage at 7-8% when Mike has a perfectly good mortgage at 2%, 3%, even 4%, right? That he's just gonna throw away. Like, why would you do that? This is the stupidest thing in the world. And I talk to sellers just like this, bro. I'm like, like why would I go get a loan to take over your loan? And why would you just throw away a perfectly good loan and remove it, like stop being a bank, right? Like just throw away a chance of being a bank, right? It just doesn't make any sense. So like it's super important to understand creative, bro, and
Even
actually
stuff too, bro. Why would you ever get rid of your performing loan that's making your credit go up so much?
exactly. That's what that's exactly what we tell sellers, bro. Like that's exactly what we tell sellers. What is the point of that? It makes no sense to me, honestly. Like unless you need the money like right now, like you absolutely need this money, your
Hmm.
equity, right? You just need it to go freaking save somebody's life. Like you absolutely need this money. There's absolutely no reason why you should sell your house for a discount just for a fast cash, right? I I tell this story to sellers, and I'm pretty sure this is a Pace story, um, but I like kind of took it and made it mine a little bit. But I do you ever have you ever heard of it, the fruit tree story?
The fruit tree?
Yeah,
Nah.
I'll tell the seller. I'll be like, so look, let's picture your house as a fruit tree, right? That you're picking apples and whatever fruit off of it every single day, right? Feeding your family from this tree, right? But it didn't start off as a fruit tree. And this is better for tired landlords, right? It didn't start off as a fruit tree. It started off as a seed that you planted 15, 20 years ago, right? You had to
Mm.
water this seed, you had to take care of it, you had to put some work in to bring it to where it's at today, right? Do you really want to just sell that tree for lumber because it's quick and convenient, or would you rather take a branch here and there and eat off that tree for the rest of your life?
So the branch here and there is the refinancing.
Nah, the branch here and there is monthly payments every single month.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha. You're talking
Yeah,
to a seller.
talking to a seller. Yeah,
Yeah.
I tell them that, and they be like, "That makes sense. That makes a lot of
God, should Daryl write a book or what?
sense." A children's book, just telling stories.
So what's how's Daryl getting his team ready for the crash?
Man, we're just gonna pound the phones, and we're going to really brush up on our creative strategies a lot. Like we're gonna be pitching a whole lot of creative. And I told my team like, look, we need to be offering 50% of Zillow. Like that needs to be your first offer all day, and we should be locking deals up like 66% of ARV, 65%, 66% of ARV. Um, get them as deep as we can, bro, as deep as we can, and just helping them, just telling them like the stories that we're talking about now. Shout out Richard Knowles in here, legend. Um, just the stories that we're telling now, right? Just planting seeds of fear into these sellers and seeds of doubt of losing everything, right? Losing everything that they built up. Um, and we do that a lot anyways, right? So like when the market was hot, right? The way we overcame the objection of the market's hot, I'll just wait a few months until the prices go up. We would say, okay, well, in a few months you still need to buy another house too, right? So those prices went up as well. So what's the difference?
Mhm.
Right. So like it's kind of the same thing. Prices are going down now, right? So we can plant seeds of
Right.
doubt to these sellers now. So yeah, bro, just keeping them updated on like what's going on, and it's a learning experience for me as well. Like I'm doing research on what happened in 2008, right, and what happened during those times, what happened before that time, right? Because history repeats itself, right? It's the same things that happen that over and over and over in real estate. So just getting prepared for it as much as I can, so I can relay messages and keep everybody cool and calm and you know doing stuff like that.
Yeah, bro. Literally, um, we are hammering the phones.
Yeah,
I don't give
trust
a
me.
shit about nothing else. Yo, just hit your freaking KPIs plus some, like times two. Hit your KPIs times two
Yep,
and absolutely flood the freaking phones.
it's
Like, I
important.
don't even care how freaking good of conversations you're having. Just talk to as many freaking people every single day as possible.
That's real.
And like, I'm really revving up the freaking sales department. And bro, when you put the work in, no matter what, it's gonna show.
Yeah, I agree, bro. That's
Tell them something that we talked about yesterday. It was so freaking interesting. So, for anybody listening who doesn't know what a KPI is, it's a key performance indicator. It's like, okay, if I do this many calls, it's going to land this many contracts, essentially. And me
yeah,
and Daryl were having a conversation last night, and he was like, after a certain amount, go ahead. You're going to know where
yeah.
I'm.
So we broke the math down and we reverse engineered it, right? And I got the Pace told me to do this, right? And we reverse engineered it and we came up with, if my acquisition people are making 50 calls a day, that's $52 per call. So we broke the numbers down from how much they'll make in a month, like how much they made, and we took the highest month that they had, right? We broke down the numbers. Okay, you made this much this month, and we broke down the calls. How much money you made per call, right? And it came down to $52 per call, right? And that's because they were making over 50 calls a day, over $50 a day. They were hitting that number, right? So it's $52 per day. But once you're if you don't hit 50, say you hit 45, that number drops to like $20 a day because they're not getting deals at that point, right? Like for some reason, once you hit that 50 and over, the more deals come, right? I don't know why. It's just talking to more sellers, right? You have more of a chance. And once you hit that number for 50 in our business in particular, right? 50 calls a day, that number of that they're getting per call is $52 per call. So I I told my team, like, just picture me standing right next to you. Every single call you make, I'm giving you a $50 bill with two singles right on top of it, just slapping it down next to you. Right.
Yeah.
They're making calls now. They're
Yo,
making
what do you think like a younger version of Daryl would be doing if he heard that?
bro, I'd be on the phone 24/7. Like, cause I mean, bro, I'm different though. Like I'm a
I'm
good
calling
guy.
300 motherfuckers a day.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on it.
Exactly, bro. So yeah, man, it's just different ways to get your team to perform, right? Like, and that's why I'm super grateful to have mentors, bro. Like, I would have never thought to do anything like that if I would haven't asked Pace a question,
Yeah,
right? Like, it's crazy, bro. We need
dude,
to get him. We need to get him on here.
we have to. He has literally just moved the needle in my business. Every single time that I have a conversation with him, it's like 10x
Yeah,
every single time. And I'm like, what the heck? Literally, it was this week where we had a conversation about my sales department, and I literally just feel like I leveled up. Like I just unlocked a level in a game or something. It's so crazy. But
it's important, bro. Super important to have mentors. Super important because just like we were talking about yesterday, right? Every with new levels is new devils, right? So there's always a problem that needs to be solved. No matter what you're doing, it's always a problem that needs to be solved. Um, I'll be fully transparent. Like, we didn't close a deal in 2 months. I just closed a deal. I closed a deal last week, right? But 2 months before that, didn't close any deals. We had contracts, right? But a bunch of stuff was just we had probate issues, we had pre foreclosure issues, getting loan modifications. We had a bunch of stuff that we had to deal with. Like, we have 13 properties under contract right now as we speak, but nothing that closed in the past 2 months, right? So it's always like, why are we? What can we tweak? What can we fix to make this a machine, right? And just having mentors, they help you boost that learning curve, you know. Um,
Because they've either done it or know somebody that done it.
exactly. It's like a cheat code.
It's a freaking cheat code, dog.
Yeah.
So one thing that I got out of the call this week is Pace was like, "Hey, your sales team should be coming to you maybe an hour a day, right? With time blocks, with like maybe 15-minute increments to talk to sellers, and that is their training." And I'm like, that's interesting. And I went back and told my team about it. I'm like, look at that hour time block as your cheat code in GTA.
So like one-on-one type of thing.
I can talk to your seller or we can work the deal out together. You only have a certain amount of time slots to do that with me. You can book me 4 times. And all those 4 times essentially are your cheat codes.
I like that.
Right? It's like putting in a little cheat code. It would literally just be like having Pace as a cheat code.
Yeah.
You think about when you were in the beginning, just generating leads yourself, and you're like, "Crap, I don't know what to do with this seller." If you just had 4 time blocks of Pace to say, "Hey, can you call the seller for me and lock it up for me?" That's a cheat code.
Yeah, I like that.
So, bro, on to the next topic. What the heck are you about to do?
I'm moving, bro. I'm moving out of the East Coast, dog. I'm about to. It's still. If you guys are in sub 2, y'all know where I'm going. If not, don't say nothing. I mean, if you are in sub 2, don't say nothing, right? But out of that time, I will be living in an RV for a month. Well, I'm gonna be living in an RV for longer, but I'm gonna be in the middle of nowhere for a month, calling sellers, getting deals done, just doing a business, right? I'm gonna document everything. So it's gonna be really fun. I'm gonna I'm gonna stream everything just like I'm doing now. Stream everything. It's gonna be fun. But honestly, Daryll, I'm where I'm moving to, and I'll make an announcement one of these days. But it's the power of proximity, bro. Like just being around like-minded individuals and just making a change, bro. This is gonna be a life changing move, and I'm really really excited for it, bro. Really, really
I'm excited for you.
appreciate it, bro.
It's gonna be dope. So, what's your goal in that month?
Yo, my goal is to keep my head down and just work. Honestly, like my goal is to like I don't even want to put no like numerical values on it, but really like I want to use this time to just like get back on track, right? Mind, body, soul, get everything back on track and just like come out like a new beast, bro. Like just a whole different beast.
That's gonna be a dope month, bro.
It's
I'm
gonna be crazy.
curious to see where Daryll goes.
It's gonna be crazy, dog. I'm excited, man. We got a question in the chat. Just curious, why do people like high equity lists so much?
I'll be honest, high equity lists stink.
You don't like high equity?
Not if we're just pulling high equity.
Yeah.
We tend to see like no leads when we do that.
I got my first deal off a high equity list. It wasn't really like, and it was a really big spread. I think that's why people like high equity, because they have a lot of equity, but they're still like I'd like to tag it with another problem. So I did like
that's exactly what I was just gonna say. Let me not say high equity stinks. I think it's just one of the filters that you use when you're adding more payments.
Yeah.
Like high equity pre-foreclosure, high equity tax lien,
Right.
high equity, divorce, something like that. You know what I mean? Those are crazy lists. But when we pull a very big, broad list, like if you just do high equity, it's a massive list.
Yeah.
And it's hard to pinpoint all the leads. So it takes a while to generate leads.
I
So
think mine was high equity tired landlord. The first couple deals that I got was high equity tired landlord.
yeah.
Um, and I got it was either high equity tired landlord or absentee owner. I think it was tired landlord though, but people like it because there's big spreads, bro. It's huge spreads. Like
Hmm.
people have a whole lot of equities. There's a whole lot of room to strike a deal. Um,
Yeah.
and he said,
But
what exit strategies would you use with high equity? So your exit strategy, your seller finance or Morby method, it's not really based on the list that you pull. It's based on the problem that the seller has, the problem that you're solving, right? So you can't buy a list expecting like, oh, this is going to be a good sub two list, right? Of course, pre foreclosures that's main. You can do it, get uh, a lot of sub twos on a pre foreclosure list, right? But majority of these other lists, you just need to understand what their problem is and understand what the best solution is that will solve that problem. So don't go into like buying these lists and getting and calling these sellers with the strategy in mind already, like on your first call. You want to understand what their problem is first and what strategy is going to solve their problem.
that's really good advice. Yeah,
Yeah,
because you're gonna pull some sort of list, like a pre-foreclosure list, and sometimes you get a lead that really isn't a pre-foreclosure. Like they might have just caught up their payments, but they do have some other shit going on and they want to sell it. And
right.
they have some equity, so it's a different type of deal. Maybe it's a cash deal, you know?
Yep. But yeah, bro. Yeah, man. I'm moving. I'm actually getting on the flight today, so today's episode will be a little shorter than usual. I
Well,
gotta
you're
get
getting
ready.
on a freaking move today?
Yeah, bro. I'm
Okay.
out. I'm out, bro. Out of here, man. So it's exciting, bro. Just like the person who I'm gonna be staying with, and it's gonna be
Yeah.
like it's just gonna be insane, bro. Like it's just gonna be insane. So is like the stuff that I'm about to learn and the energy I'm gonna be around, the energy that we're gonna be able to bounce off of each other, right? Is just going to be crazy, bro. It's gonna be crazy. Like
Whole different
people
person.
aren't gonna. I almost want to just get off of social media for this month and just like come out different. But it's it's a necessity, right? Like I can't just stop posting, right? I
You
can't
have to name your IG name to the Dow Ellison.
be Daryll Ellison.
Yeah.
That's all right. I was actually thinking about that or something else. I was thinking about a couple things, but yeah, bro. I I've been definitely been thinking about just like coming out and just like just being different, bro. Just being a whole different beast, bro. Um, Mike, you got a question, bro? There's a question for you in the chat.
What are the three lists you'd recommend for 2022 in mass? Anywhere in the country, the biggest list right now is pre foreclosure. Now, with that being said, any list is a good list.
Yep.
So, like, pre foreclosures are crushing it right now because foreclosures in general were backed up for a while because coronavirus stopped them. So now they're coming in like hotcakes and the market's tanking. So pre foreclosures are really going to crush it. Um, but at the end of the day, dude, it's not about any specific list. Like, go on YouTube and type in top 5, top 10 lists or something, and go watch Zach Ginn or freaking Brett Daniels or one of these guys that are giving a bunch of different types of lists, and go pull all of them and call
There's no
all of them.
magic list, bro. Like people look for a magic list, and there's no such thing, right? You're gonna get your deals by being consistent, calling them every single day, being extremely consistent, and not giving up, right? Like it's consistency. The man on the phone the longest wins, right? Whether you're cold calling, texting, knocking on doors, sending mail, the person who's in front of the most sellers is going to win. It does not matter what list you pull. It really doesn't. Like people use that as a way to procrastinate, right? Like, oh, I need to do research and figure out. I'm not saying you're doing this, XO, but most people they like try to figure out what list do I need to pull, what's site do I use to skip trace? What do I do? What's next? What's next? Just do it. Just pull a list and get in front of these people. No matter how you're gonna do it, just stay consistent, right? That's how you're gonna get deals. There's no
That's it.
secret, no secret list.
Yeah, we pull literally like every single type of list and just have our team bang it. So it's not like we're honing in on pre-foreclosures because we want a bunch of sub twos or whatever. We are a direct to seller wholesale business for the main part of our business, right? So we're going after any and everything. Now, with that being said, that's a strategy. Some other people, they'll do what we call reverse wholesaling. So, dude, there's so many different ways to do this freaking business, but some people will reverse wholesale, and some people will. Let's just say Daryl was a buyer, and Daryl said, "Hey, I want, every 3-bed, 2 baths under 1,600 square feet in this specific county or whatever, and I'm paying a very high ticket number for him for whatever reason. Maybe he's trying to control the market or whatever the heck he's trying to do. I'm going to go pull that list. I'm going to make sure I'm going to really niche and hit all those properties because I have a monster to feed." That's what a lot of people were doing with hedge funds. Hedge funds have specific buy boxes, and they were just pulling their list driven towards the hedge fund specific buy box. So if you're reverse wholesaling like that, then yeah, that's a good strategy to go of pulling a specific list and really niching it down to your buyer's buy box. But for my particular business, we have a shit ton of buyers that buy all different types of properties. So when we get a property, our buyers essentially bid our contracts. So they're bidding and we're just fishing. Literally both our acquisitions and dispo is like fishing. We're looking out, we're trying to figure out what leads can come from that specific list. Finally, we get a contract. Same thing on the dispo side. We're looking out, we're throwing the line out there and seeing what buyer is a buyer because we have all the buyers.
I love it.
But some people have different strategies. With all that being said, it's finding one of those strategies and being super consistent with it, like Daryl said.
Consistency, bro, is everything.
It was why I wasn't making this business work in the beginning. I was literally trying to do everything. I was caught up on the same stuff that EXO was asking about right now. I was like, all right, what list do I do? All right, let me try to just do a pre-foreclosure list. I'm going to tackle some of these. I'm going to send some texts. Let me send some mailers to some high equity. Let me go drive for dollars. I was doing a bunch of different shit. Nothing was sticking. And I wasn't consistent with one thing to begin.
That's real, bro. You got people get like squirrel minds, and the other thing, right? Like I see so many people who they get a list and they start cold calling for a month and then start crying saying it doesn't work. Like, bro, you didn't give yourself enough time to pull it to get a pipeline going. You probably not even following up with the leads that you did generate. Like, you need at least 3 months minimum to build up a pipeline and get deals, right? Even if, like, we were kind of talking about this yesterday, right? Even if you already have a pipeline and you take your foot off the gas for a week, right, or a few weeks, it's gonna take you some more time to build that back up, right? Like we had, so I told the team, right, we calculated that number, right, $52 a day. I mean $52 per dial, right? Once you get over $50 a day, and we did the numbers. Like, the reason why we didn't get any deals the last 2 months closed was mainly because the numbers dropped, the call numbers dropped. So in April, our top sales guy made like 1,400, 1,500 calls, right? And the next months after, he made like 400, 500 calls, right? So that like slowed things down extremely, especially for them, right? Like they're wondering, like, why didn't I get a deal this month? Well, because you didn't make as many calls, right? And like they're directly correlated. So if you're on the phone longer than the next man, you're going to get the most deals. It's that simple.
Here's like, to put it into perspective, here's why that is the reason. Is because as you're making all these dials, you're building a follow-up pipeline. And the follow-up pipeline is where your money is actually made. So
Yep.
it's not, I think here's what happens. Here's people will go in and start hitting their KPIs the first week or two. And they're like, what the heck? You told me if I did 100 dials, I would get deals. But all you're doing in the first couple weeks is building up the follow-up pipeline for the weeks to come.
Yep.
And those are going to be contracts. Your deals don't come from the first KPIs. They come from your follow-ups later on. So you have to put in the hours. That way you can fill up the follow-up pipeline for later. And then all of a sudden, what you're going to see is week 3, week 4 comes up, and you're going to start foreseeing deals, right? You're going to wake up Monday morning and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I know these ones are kind of ready. I'll probably get that one done this week, maybe that one next week.
And it's a timing thing, bro. Like we just added a new guy onto my team yesterday. He's been in sub 2 for a while. And he made a good point. He's like, yo, like you really don't know. There's like no like rhyme or reason why these people pick up when they pick up, right? You just have to keep calling every single day, and just one day they're just gonna pick up, right? And the time is gonna be right. Like you may talk to them this month, they're not ready to go because they need to buy a new house or whatever, and then you call them back 2 months from now, they already have that house, and now the house that you were calling for is sitting vacant, right? Now they're ready to go, right? So there's no telling what the situation's going, but it's a timing thing, right? So like that's why it's super important again to call every single day, bro. Just be on the phones consistently. Even if these people aren't answer the phone, continue to call, continue to call, continue to call, because you don't know what's changing in their lives. Things change every single day.
Bro, this is so crazy that you're talking about this. I went on an appointment this time, probably even earlier than this time last year. So we're talking about over a year out. Okay. Yeah. And I go to the property. The property's like fully gutted. And this guy's an investor himself. He's a contractor, has a bunch of properties. And we just couldn't come to terms on a number. So I'm like, all right, yeah, no worries. I mean, you got a bunch of other properties, but it doesn't seem like you're looking to sell anytime soon. We'll stay in touch.
Right.
He's been in our pipeline since. This week, we just locked up one of his properties. We've been in contact with this guy for over a freaking year. And here's what happened, dude. He's essentially dying. Like he's going through it. Like he has cancer and he's not doing well. God bless his soul. But I went and met him last week at one of his properties, and bro, he looks like a whole different person. Like dropped 70 pounds, just looks like shit. And I'm like, damn. So exactly what Daryll was saying, it's a timing thing.
Yeah, bro. It's crazy, man. How was your week? You had to put some fires out or what?
Yeah, man. What's happened? Let me tell you guys a quick story of one thing that's happened in the past couple weeks. Interesting. So you guys don't run into this bullshit. So me and my business partner, we had 2 different LLCs, and we were waiting on the other one to be created. So we were writing contracts under 2 LLCs. So it was A LLC and B LLC on the purchase and sale agreement. Now, when we got the assignment check, the attorneys didn't disperse it, and I blame it on myself because I should have called the attorneys and let them know, but they didn't disperse it separately. They dispersed it on one check. So it said A LLC and B LLC, like payable to A LLC and B LLC. So I go deposit it to the bank, and the bank ends up not allowing it to clear, and it was a whole big ordeal with the bank. Essentially, I didn't know that my bank account didn't allow for third-party signatures because I had my business partner come in and sign the back of the check. That's what the lady on the phone told me to do when the check didn't clear. Went there, the manager at the bank told me, hey, yeah, just have him sign the back of the check and it'll be good. Bank of America literally flagged my whole shit and closed out my account and put all my funds in my account in limbo for like 3 weeks straight. So it was like going through a bunch of reviewing process and all this stuff, all because I deposited a check with two LLCs and I wasn't aware that my account didn't allow for that. So when I went to another branch, the dude at the other branch told me, hey, the manager should have told you that your account doesn't accept third party signatures, and that's why everything was flagged. So essentially, make sure if you ever get a check with two LLCs, make sure that your account allows for it. But I would make sure even before that to even have the attorneys write it out to two different people, because it was a crazy freaking headache the past like 2 or 3 weeks. So here's what happens, dude. As a business owner, you got to go put out these types of fires. Like this shit took time. I had to go set up new bank accounts. I had to go back and forth to Bank of America. I was on the phone with people on Bank of America, and I'm putting out fires. But luckily, I have a good team under me who is still doing the calls.
Yep.
So it's important that you have your team in place to get shit done during the day. That way you can go put out fires if you have to.
Crucial, bro. Crucial. And like even do things like just spend time with family, right? Like having a team in place is super important for that, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
um I realized that the other day. Like I was hanging out with my grandparents, spending some time with them before I head out, and I'm just thinking like, yo, I wouldn't be able to do this if I didn't have a team in place, right? So starting off, you probably got to do everything, right? But you want to scale out and find a team or build a team as fast as you can. My personal opinion. Find somebody who is better than you in certain things, so you don't have to worry about doing everything. But
Mm-hmm.
what did you learn from that, bro?
I learned to not be an ostrich with my head in the sand. 'Cause I should have just freaking told the attorneys in the beginning because I knew. You ever have that feeling when you're just like, something in the back of your head is going to happen
Yeah.
and you just disregard it for some reason? You're like, ah, nah, it'll probably be all right because I got other shit to do.
Yep.
That was literally the thing in my head when I saw the check have two LLCs. I'm like, I haven't seen this before. I know it's probably going to be a problem, but hopefully it won't be an issue. Let me just deposit and it'll be fine. What I should have done is I should have contacted the attorneys and told them, no, 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 no. This is some bullshit. Just write out two different checks.
Right. Shit.
So just take care of your shit.
What's up, Oscar? What's up, Brax? Um, yeah, bro. We had to put some fires out too. I really don't even want to go into it right now though, because I do need to jump off pretty soon. Um, and get ready for the flight.
What
But
time do you start?
my flight is later today, but I haven't packed yet, so I need to do a bunch of stuff with that and get my dog right. So I
Your
might do my
dog's
cousin.
coming, right?
Yeah, he's coming. He's coming. I paid a sub two student who she's driving. Yo, that's one thing I do want to talk about, bro. When you provide value to others, and I was talking to Keston about this. Shout out to Keston because I hired him as my high performance coach, and we were talking.
You have to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, and we were talking right, and we were trying to figure out like I he had a situation where I made it. I couldn't. I didn't want to pay this crazy amount for this company to take my dog, and they were going to take him with a bunch of people and stuff like that, a bunch of other dogs and stuff like that. It really seemed like a sketchy situation. So I was trying to get him on the plane with me. He didn't get approved as a as a service animal because he'll when he sees another person like he wants to go play with them, right? And they were like at TSA, they're going to need him to stand right by your side, and if he doesn't do that, he's not going to get on the plane. And I'm like, yep. Well, that's not going to work at all. So I had to find another solution. I made a post in sub two, bro, and I had a bunch of people reaching out, willing to help, willing to drive him across country, willing to drive me and him across country. And I was just thinking, I was talking to Keston about it, and it's like, yo, when you provide value to another level, when you provide a certain amount of value to people, they're gonna want to provide it back.
Mm-hmm.
People that I've never spoke to before have reached out to me. Like the girl who's taking it, shout out to Dawn Walker. She's driving from Texas to PA to Arizona, back to Texas. And all she asked for was for me to cover her gas and buy her a couple nights in a hotel. Obviously, I'm going to pay her more, right? But that's all she asked for.
Holy crap.
bro. And she says, you provide so much value in the community. I want to provide it back to one of the leaders. And I was talking to Keston about that, and it's just like when you provide value to the next level, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back to you, right? And I actually seen a post, Alex Hermosi, he posted today, and it's kind of similar, right? And he was talking about, he's like, if you want somebody to do something for you, right, you kind of have to, you got to do something for them first, right? Like, not, don't do it expecting to want something back from them like right away, right? But like, say if you want somebody to help you move, right? One day you offer that friend to take him to the airport or something like that, right? And a couple weeks down the line, you ask him to help you move. It's nothing, right? It's a no brainer because you already provided value to them, right? So like, if you just provide value on a constant basis, not expecting anything in return, because I don't expect anything in return, bro. When I provide value, when I drop these videos, when I help other people, right? I don't want nothing half the time. I just want to provide value, right? Like, even to the point where like I'm having some mindset issues where people are telling me, yo, you need to make like a ebook or a course and charge for it, right? And I'm like, nah, I just want my stuff to be free. I just want free game, give out free game. But I am going to drop an ebook though pretty soon, and I am going to charge for it because I do understand it now. But like, that's still providing value, right? So like, just providing value to others, bro, it's always going to come back tenfold, right? So if I can leave y'all with one lesson today, is provide as much value as possible, because you never know who you're affecting. Honestly, you don't know who you're affecting when you're just doing it at a massive level. And then two, you don't know when you're gonna need value in return, right? And once you provide that much value to other people, it's just gonna come back. Like, I could literally go down that Facebook post and pick out of the people who offered to help, bro.
You know what that does, bro? It creates two things. It creates your actual Rolodex, like in
Yeah,
my freaking call logs, who I can call when I need something, when
yeah,
something needs to get done. That's what it does, because you have really good relationships with people because you've just been pouring and pouring and pouring into people. Like,
yep.
could you imagine the Rolodex Pace has? Pace
Oh
could
yeah,
call somebody and be like, boom. Actually, Dan freaking Fleischman
yeah,
like provides value to so many people to the point where he has an actual Rolodex that he can go on his phone and call somebody and get freaking Paul Pierce or Deion Sanders at an event.
yep. And it's like you want to provide value to the level that when you do make that call, people will drop everything to answer that call. I
Right.
guarantee you, Pace calls you right now, you're gonna answer the phone.
I'm out to AZ, bro.
You're gonna answer the phone. Exactly. It doesn't matter what he asks you.
Pace
Probably
called
gonna
me and said, "Yo, Mike, I need you in AZ today for X." I'm like, crap, I gotta do. All right, fuck it, I'm there.
you're gonna go. You're gonna go.
Right,
Like,
bro. So it's the actual Rolodex, but even more importantly, in your situation right now, it's your silent Rolodex that you don't even know,
yeah,
because
yeah,
you don't put so much value out that you're affecting people you don't even know.
yep,
Like, literally, Pace could call somebody that actually not even call somebody. Pace could put out a post and somebody would reach out to him and freaking go fly him out somewhere if he needed
yeah.
to,
It's real, bro.
because he has affected people at a different level, to the point where he doesn't even know the people he's affecting, and
Hell
that's
yeah,
what he's doing, bro. It's fire.
hell yeah, bro.
So could you? I know you got to run really quick, but I want to hear about what's going on with you and Keston.
Oh yeah, he's my high performance coach, bro. So it was crazy because we had our first session on Thursday, and he asked me, what do I think is wrong, right? Because like, bro, everybody has mindset issues, right? Like, I had somebody text me the other day, and I told them like, yo, I've been dealing with some mindset issues the past couple of weeks. He's like, what the hell mindset issues are you dealing with? You're crushing it. And I'm like, we all got mindset issues, right? So I was talking to Keston about it, and he's like, well, what do you think is the issue, right? Why do you think you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing? And I told him, like, I don't think my purpose is big enough, or else I would be doing it, right? Like, I would remember, like, okay, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'll go ahead and make it happen, right? And he's like, I don't know. So he starts asking me questions. Like he asked me a list of questions, asked me to rate them from like 1 to 10, right? And by the time we got to the end of it, we found out that the things that I thought I needed to work on was really not that at all. It's things completely different, right? Completely different. So like I would have been chopping at the wrong tree for like all day if I didn't do that activity, right? Now I know exactly what I need to work on, but
Yep.
otherwise I would have been working on the wrong thing that's already there. Like it's already good, right? So having like an extra set of eyes and somebody who's already like performing at a high level, super important, bro. I'm super excited for our next sessions and to keep it going.
That
It's
is so dope. That's powerful, bro. That
yeah,
happened to me. Literally,
yeah,
that all that I have with Pace, the Q and A that he was doing, I hopped on there. I swear to God, I feel like I just unlocked a new level, and it was the same thing. It's another set of eyeballs on your life and
yeah,
another perspective. And you're like, I didn't even think of it like that. And I would have been doing the same exact thing, chopping at that tree. But here's what happens. You can learn that way, but you have to chop down that tree. And the tree finally
yeah,
falls. Why don't I just go get somebody with a freaking chainsaw?
yeah.
You
Super
know?
important, bro. Like I don't mind. Like I stopped asking like how much do things cost, right? I start asking how much value does it bring, right? So I don't mind paying for something like this if it's gonna bring me value every single day, right? I'm like my man's put made a post the one day. He's like, yo, if I could show you how to make $1 million, would you pay me 1,000? And I'm like, all day. Like, why wouldn't I? Right? And most people don't think the about the second part. They don't think about the $1 million part. They just think about that entry fee, right? How much do I need to pay to get into it, right? But that's the you think you're asking the wrong question, right? I ask people that all the time. People ask me like, how much is sub two? I'm like, you're asking me the wrong question, right? That's not the right question to ask. Your right question to ask is how much value did sub two bring to you, right? And that number is infinite. That number is infinite, right? So the pennies that we pay compared to what we learn is just insane. So if y'all are scared to get coaching and pay for like mentorships and stuff like that, make sure you're going to the right mentor, obviously, and you're getting somebody who's actually going to provide value for you. But bro, don't be afraid to drop some money for mentorships, masterminds. I know Mike does it. Mike does it. You're in a few masterminds. You're in a few mentorships, right? I do it. The smartest people in the world do it, right? And they talk about it in Think and Grow Rich. Like you need to have a mastermind group where you meet up with people once a week, once a month who are high level thinkers, and you guys can bounce ideas off of each other. And the reality is, you got to pay to get into those rooms. You got to pay to play because they're protecting their energy,
I
right? They
think the
don't.
second one is more important.
So what?
The second one is more important.
What's that?
You got to play. You
Yeah.
got to play full the fuck out because if you don't, here's here's a quick story. I joined a radio ad mentorship. It's $5,000. I didn't do one freaking thing with it. And my little sissy mindset was, yo, this mentorship stinks. They don't teach me nothing. Like I didn't make any money off of that. But the reality was I learned after I had some mindset shifts and after I got into another couple masterminds and mentorships that it was my fault. I didn't take the action on the stuff that the guy was providing.
Yeah.
Come to find out, I run into somebody like a year later who joined that same exact mentorship and is making $1 million a year off of that mentorship. I'm like, Mike, was it you? Was it the coaching or was it you?
Definitely you. You got to
It was me,
take
dog.
action, bro. You got to take action.
That's it. So if you pay for something like sub two and you're asking, hey, how much does this shit cost? You shouldn't even ask somebody that. You should only be asking yourself one question. Am I going to take the action that is needed?
Yep.
to even make my investment back.
So good, bro. Yo, I gotta bounce, dog. So yo, if it's y'all first time on here, make sure y'all subscribe to Mike's YouTube channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel. They are listed in the bio underneath. Our Instagrams are also listed in there. Make sure y'all follow both of us on Instagram. We are coming live every single Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Bringing guests on. We're gonna have great real estate conversations. Wholesale Hard Knocks. Y'all been here before. Y'all see how we do it. We out of here. I appreciate y'all.